Hey traders, Nick here on October 6th. Previewing the week, it's going to be a busy one, but first we'd like to acknowledge our friends and family who are on the East Coast in the US struggling with extreme weather. Hopefully you're safe. Please be safe. And also the Middle East is on fire. I am from Beirut. I grew up on the streets of Beirut, so I know exactly what's going on there. And it is an incredibly sad situation. It is no longer geopolitical unrest. It is war. The question is, will the West actively get involved or not? Let's assume that that stays constant this week. I will shift the next few statements to the macro. Last week, we had a strong performance. This is the S&P SPX. And it came in spite of some good, supposedly economic report from the jobs. And for once, the stock market reacted positively to good news, which is very happy. They have been inconsistent with that. They also ignored a super spike in rates. The bond market fell, the yields spiked, especially on the long end. So are we really okay with Powell not cutting rates anymore? We shall see. This week, they will have the opportunity to act again, like with such maturity. We have probably a dozen speeches from Fed heads. What will they say? We also have some inflation reports, which I think will matter. You should doubt the accuracy, but nevertheless, the market does react to it. So it will be a catalyst. I'm going to blindly guess positive because whether it's good news, they celebrate, it seems. Bad news, they celebrate, it seems. They're just focused on the way up. So how do I deal with this mess? Reduce it to a numbers game. So we're looking at the SPX. My assumption, if there's any guess whether there's going to move up or down, I assume up until they show me that they can do down. So how much up and how much down? I have pictures. For this week, these are the boxes to look at. Every box represents a day. And every box represents a range that is expected by the options market. It's very simple math. The orange one is for Friday. I'm expecting a pop, and if it does happen, I will try to fade it. So this path in yellow is possible, but it's a forecast. And then I will adjust my forecast for us as the days unfold. Now, the drivers in the SPX, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple. Now, against them, you have ETFs. The three major ones I can think of is the XLF, the XLV. Those are, I believe, 12% each, bigger than 2 mega caps. And then you have the XLI that rounds out the top. Those three have been heroes whenever the mega caps have been resting for the S&P. All you need is for everything to synchronize green one day or two, and you will have an explosion higher. The SPY can hit 588 to 607 with no problem, and mid 620s with a little bit of hard work. Anything outside these boxes is above and beyond expectations. The QQQ, it is still struggling to break recent highs. Like, ask yourself, why is NVIDIA struggling to get somewhere close to its highs? So that divergence needs to close itself up. So if I assume that the market is going to win on the upside, therefore I must assume that some big companies are going to make big news and big moves. I nominate two, either NVIDIA or Apple or both. There's been a lot of talk of Apple hitting 240. They might engineer a headline that gets it there. Now, I haven't mentioned anything about the IWM, so let's take a peek. So here we are looking at the RUT. I zoomed out to 1 week in order to show you the all-time highs. That happened in 2021. And we had some pretty nasty failures. So here we had one fake out, retraced, came back, retraced, came back, retraced. So we had the 8.5 dive. We had the September drop. And everybody else made a higher high. This guy is still struggling with that. Also needs to synchronize with the breakout of the QQQ that catches up with the SPY. So we just strung the string between those three ETFs. The range is tightening, higher lows. One could argue lower highs. There should be a move. This is a weekly chart, so it might be a little bit less aggressive looking. Stay nimble. From an investment perspective, I haven't changed my mind. I'm very hesitant to start huge positions. I'm going to say leave a lot of dry powder for later. The active traders, it's an incredibly fruitful period of time. Jump into the live room. We'll show you how we do it. And options are a great way to protect assets via selling covered calls and buying puts to protect them temporarily for the disaster. Now, I've been asked, is it too late to buy the VIX as for protection? Well, it's never too late to buy insurance, but you must know what you're doing with that.